Forward TV. The world is thinking.
I got to say, you talk about expensive bureaucracy. You know, most expensive bureaucracy we got is the prison industrial system.
And it will not change. It will not change if you legalize marijuana, because you still got enforcement on heroin, methamphetamine, and a whole host of other drugs, and that's not going to be solved unless you legalize everything, and that's a bad idea.
The fact of the matter is, I mean, roughly half of Americans between the age of 17 and 65 would ever try marijuana now. Not that many Americans are interested in trying heroin, cocaine, or methamphetamine. And what you see in the public we've done the polling on this and the research, what you see among a lot of people who are on the fence around this stuff and are worried about their kids, and maybe they use marijuana when they're younger, maybe they didn't, they're basically saying, we want the cops focusing on real crime. And quite frankly, the cost of having some bureaucracy to regulate this in a responsible way is well worth it. If we can be bringing in billions of dollars of revenue, and that revenue will in fact go to pay for school construction or other services, that's a trade-off that we want. We don't want the criminals getting that sort of stuff. So I think this notion about, oh my God, we're going to have another bureaucracy, better to have a marijuana legal regulatory system, which in Colorado is going to be in the Department of Revenue, in Washington it's in the Alcohol Control Bureau. That's the way to really deal with this stuff. I mean, meanwhile, spending what we're doing now, $10 billion, $15 billion a year enforcing these marijuana laws, 750,000 marijuana arrests. And I'll tell you this, too. I used to wonder whether just decriminalization would be enough.
The European approach was describing.
Yeah, exactly. And then you look what happened. 1970s, you had, as I said, 11 states decriminalized the possession of marijuana. And initially, the arrests dropped, right? But you know what happened? By 4 years ago, in California and New York, both of which had decriminalized the possession of marijuana back in the 70s, you had more arrests than you had back in the 70s. Because even though marijuana had been decriminalized, police found new ways to arrest. And who were they mostly arresting? Overwhelmingly, it was young men of color. Every city and county around the country, when you survey, you know, white kids, black kids, brown kids, and you say who's got more marijuana, by and large, the same percent are going to have marijuana in their pocket, white kids, brown kids, and black kids. But all around the country, it's young black kids, and to some extent brown kids, who are getting arrested at 3, 4, 7, 10 times the rate. So the problem with decriminalization was police still found ways to keep arresting people. They kept doing it, and decriminalization still keeps it in the hands of the criminals, the black market. So that's why I'm saying let's make this legal, let's regulate it. And by the way, now in Europe, you have now in Denmark, in Switzerland, Spain, the Netherlands, they're all now looking at the U.S. and saying, whoa, U.S. is now leapfrogging us when it comes to a pragmatic cannabis control policy. So they're beginning that debate right now themselves about how to effectively legally regulate this stuff.
United States leadership does make a difference.
It does.